Welcome, P.
Hello.
Today is a film episode. It was Claire's pick, and she chose the 2024 Demi Moore vehicle, The Substance.
Awful.
Not
an
it?
awful film, just awful. It's not a bad film, but I think about the film, I just think, oh.
Well, I have a theory why you and I probably don't like this film very much, Pete. I'll be honest with you, Claire. First time I watched this, I fell asleep.
Oh.
The second time I watched it, I dozed in the middle and woke up for the end.
Oh.
That was
I had
last
to watch
night.
it in two times.
I've never been a fan of horror, full stop. I think it's boring and predictable.
Right.
Body horror, The Fly took me right off that when I was younger.
Okay.
But I get the message it's trying to put across. I do think it's a very feminist vehicle, this film.
Yeah.
It could have been a dude.
Which is probably why Pete and I don't like it, is because it's like, well, I can give a fuck.
It could have been a dude. Couldn't
I
it?
really liked it. I don't know about you, Claire. Did you like it?
I liked it. It was just weird as fuck,
No.
wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was it.
We'll get into why I hate this character later on, from what I saw of it. Because I did actually have to go back, I saw the first third, I fell asleep for the middle third, woke up at the end. I woke up for Freak Show at the end.
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Am I still watching the same film?
Yeah, I knew that something like that was going to happen, but then
Well, we'll get into it.
me being the professional I am, I had to go and watch like 2 movie recaps of this at lunchtime today to find out what happened in the middle.
Fucking hell.
But let's thank some new return listeners and then we'll get into it. Los Angeles in the US, Lahore in Pakistan, Ashburn in the US, Frankfurt and Maine in Germany, Mirpur, I think that is, in Pakistan, Gosport and Hyde in the UK, Chicago, Bournemouth in the US, Hastings in the UK. Weird, we were just on about Hastings, weren't we?
The Battle of we were talking about.
Yeah, that's what we do when we're not recording this. We sit here and discuss pre-medieval battles.
Dating up to the 1500s, I will let you know.
Oh, that's Renaissance you're talking there.
We go that far.
Oh, here
as
we do.
well,
I mean,
we don't just stick
we don't exclude the age of gunpowder, do
No,
we, gentlemen?
no, we don't just stick in like
Sorry,
the
Claire.
tens.
This is what we do when you're not here.
Thrilling.
Usually we're in smoking
that and
jackets,
football
swilling brandies.
With football manager on in the background.
Of course.
Yeah. Guadalajara, Spain, Council Bluffs in the US, House Springs in America, that sounds nice. House Springs, isn't it? Dublin, Ireland, and Phoenix in the US. Love your lights.
Potato.
Don't alienate the Irish listeners, Pete.
Oh, I was doing that for the Phoenix.
Is Phoenix known for its potatoes?
Arizona, yeah. It's the potato state of America.
Wow, I tell you, you know what? You are the fact checker.
It would be so funny if I was right.
I doubt it. It's a fucking desert, isn't it?
That's a
Arizona.
good point, yes.
Isn't that
There's
where?
much growing there, let alone potatoes.
Isn't that where Death Valley is?
Probably.
It's in California.
Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
like either way, it's probably the opposite to where you'd grow a potato, isn't it? Let's
Yeah.
face it.
My bet's Idaho.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is right north.
I don't fucking know.
They've got a farm belt, haven't they?
Yeah, Idaho. That's why I went for Idaho.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Potato capital.
Well, enough of this riveting chat with the potatoes. You know what? And I think I'd rather chat about this than chat about the movie.
I'm going to find out.
Let's stick
Don't
with
you roll your
potatoes.
eyes at me, Claire.
Let's stick with potatoes.
Demi Moore hasn't made a film in forever, has she? You know, so I was just like interested. I was like, bloody hell, look at this. Demi
you-
Moore's
was
made
you-
a new movie. So I just stuck it on and it was just weird as fuck. And I thought, yeah, it's got, you know.
It's. I get it. I can appreciate it for what it is. It's not my kind of movie. It's not something I'd watch on me out. I'd sit there and watch.
Well, that's why, you
It's
know.
only Idaho. It's
Oh,
only Idaho.
fuck. I can't believe you fucking Googled that, you.
What did I find out?
Well, The Substance, back to The Substance, is a 2024 satirical body horror film written
About
and
potatoes.
It's not a bit. Yeah, well, there is a bit. She does go a bit potato-y.
Yeah.
And written and directed by Carly. How do I say her last name? Fargit.
I guess.
It follows a fading celebrity, Elizabeth Sparkle, but Demi Moore, who, after being fired by her producer Harvey Dennis Quaid due to her age, could I just say that that eating scene was uncomfortable as well at the start? I don't want to see like Dennis Quaid shoveling shrimp into his mouth. It was uncomfortable. It made me feel
Super
uncomfortable.
close up.
It was a bit of a queasy one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst eating scene since Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
with them tomatoes.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that, I think.
Yeah, it's worse
definitely.
than that.
Because it weren't so much of a. There wasn't so much close up in Lord of the Rings.
No, that's true. Just the sound and the well. Either way, it
Not
was.
very subtle, this film, is it? I just love
I thought subtlety was its number one thing. To be fair,
You mean it's not overtly feminist claptrap?
That's your opinion.
It is my opinion.
there's
Well, it's got you talking more than some of the some
There's
starts
Ben's review for you.
films.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, I fully
It's a
agree.
divisive film.
Even
I
if
suppose.
you're hating on it, you're talking about it.
I did wake up. I thought, let's see why Claire's picked that.
Because I like to sleep.
Not me out. Well, she uses a black market drug, doesn't she? That's the plot of the film. To create a younger version of herself, played by Margaret Qualley, with unexpected side effects.
Do you know who she is the daughter of?
Who
Margaret Qualley.
is that? The younger.
Yeah.
She's hot. She is hot.
Very
Oh,
attractive,
Pete
yeah.
just proving the point of this film straight away.
Oh,
You haven't complimented Demi Moore on her looks, Pete.
no. In all fairness, Demi Moore looks fucking amazing for her age.
For her age, Jesus.
But she has got
I don't deny it.
She has got oversized fake boobs that she's had for a while, and I've always thought they looked silly.
I'm still probably gonna. I'm not gonna say no, thank you, Demi. I won't do that to you
No,
tonight.
she is still an attractive woman, and she's ugged up in this as well a lot, isn't she? Let's face it. But yeah, but no, the younger version, very very beautiful girl, very beautiful girl. My dick wasn't out of my hand at all throughout the whole film.
Oh wow!
God.
This is why Pete is.
tempted.
I've just realised that Pete. Claire, I'll take it all back. I've just realised that Pete is the reason she made this film.
But no,
It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Fucking hell! I just had a revelation.
it is one of those things. I think films like this, it's like they're made for dirty pervs as well.
Well, this is to keep you and I interested.
But no, like people like myself, we like our action, our guns. Our
Do you not
fucking...
think it was just like, making a suggestion that
Well, they
of
didn't
what-
have.
of what
They
the-
didn't have to both be naked all the time for that first half of the film. Pretty
But that's
much.
his film all over it. It's over the top.
Yeah, yeah, but they
Everything is
didn't have
over the
to be
top,
naked all the
exaggerated.
time. Like, don't get me wrong, I wasn't too worried that the fact that they were naked most of the time, but nobody wants to see 60-year-old muff.
Some people do.
A
If
lot-
you're
I think-
60
I
plus,
think,
yeah.
I think you'll find there's a lot of people who do.
A lot of people on Pornhub would disagree with you, mate.
Yeah. Mike's one of them.
Wow.
I
I
won't
see
turn
what
down-
comes
I
up
won't-
on his feed.
I won't turn down a gilf.
There's gilf porn. People are watching it.
But no, but do you know who she is the daughter of?
No, who is she? the
Andy
daughter of?
McDowell.
Who's Andy McDowell?
Oh, she
I
was
know
a,
the name. I
Yeah,
She
can't-
was a little cute,
Groundhog Day.
yeah, cute
Oh,
brunette
yeah.
actress, actor. Sorry,
Oh.
You see it now.
the
trying to solve my own misogyny there.
yes.
Bill Murray's love interest in.
she was also
Right.
in 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh God, she created a very very fine young offspring.
Well, this film is motivated by societal pressures on women's bodies and ageing. It took her 2 years to make. The Substance premiered on May 19th, 2024, the 77th Cannes Film Festival main competition where Farragut won Best Screenplay. Originally set to be distributed theatrically by Universal Pictures, it was released theatrically in the UK and the United States by Mubi, so we had to get a Mubi app. Didn't we? Cancelled that one straight away.
Yep, I literally loaded it up and they went, right, cancel it. And they're like, yeah, you can watch it till the 9th of May. Alright, thanks. March, sorry. So yeah, cheers, that'll do.
So, it's Elizabeth Sparkle's 50th birthday. A once celebrated but now faded Hollywood film star is abruptly dismissed from her long-running aerobics TV show by Harvey the producer due to her
It's
age.
not the first image, though, is it? We see.
No, we get the corridor.
And you get the star.
Oh, we do
on
get the
pavement.
star, yes.
It's nice and brand new and
Yeah.
shiny.
Sparkling, one might say.
But then
Oh,
it just
unbelievable, isn't it?
and they're polished. They polish it daily. They look after it.
But as
And
time
then it
goes
kind
on,
of, as the years
gets
pass,
neglected.
Yeah.
People spill food all over it, crack it.
Smoke
Gets
meth on
weathered.
it. It is Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Probably been shit on at least 3 times by a crackhead.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen to it, to be
And
fair, is it?
German tourists.
Oh, God, not again. Listen to who's cast in a 5-minute discussion about Mike's little scaffold.
Scheiße,
We're not going back into that one again. But the German listeners haven't been back since.
Well, they've all been looking up this German Scheiße porn that he's been talking about.
Harvey has obviously got to be a play on Harvey, what's his name?
Weinstein.
Weinstein. Bound, got to be. And she goes in the toilet, doesn't she? She can't, and he walks in.
Yep.
She goes in the men's for some reason, I can't remember why.
Because the women's was occupied.
That's
wasn't
right. And he is, oh yeah, she won an Oscar, yeah, but it was for King Kong. Yeah, that was like 1930 something, wasn't it?
33.
So he's saying she's too old to do her aerobic show, which I completely disagree with Harvey.
Well, she had a very good body.
Yeah.
She could still do it, couldn't she?
But at the same
Yeah, you
time,
want someone new, young, fresh.
Yeah, more relevant.
same time, if you were a good enough actor, you'd have kept acting, wouldn't you?
Well, sometimes.
I mean, Helen Mirren managed to keep going. Judi Dench has kept going. Love me a bit of Judy.
Oh, what a fun off-air conversation that was the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got Helen Mirren and Judi Dench mixed up in my head.
He was saying
I thought
how hot she was.
Helen Mirren was Bond, was Q, M even.
And about how hot she was as M, and I was
Judy
like,
thought
what?
Judi Dench was Bond.
No, I thought she was M.
I know you said Bond.
Yeah, in Bond. I thought she was in Bond.
Yeah, he wishes he was in her by the sounds of things.
Oh, sorry, I just find power sexy. Anyway, nonetheless, she is dismissed from her long-running aerobics TV show. There's a billboard, isn't there? She just crashes the car while she sees the billboard being torn down.
Ripped apart. They're doing it quite savagely, though, aren't they?
They are. They're not just just pacing over it or
Like they normally would.
Yeah.
No, they're ripping it down.
ripping it down. What's it called? Attractiveness. It's all faded. It's been torn down before her eyes. Her relevance. Her relevance as a woman is being torn down before her eyes. Everything she is.
Out with the old, innit?
Yep.
That's capitalism, as Mike would say.
Out with the old and in with the poo, as Mike would say.
Well,
Yep, I would. How you get around to my way of thinking?
so she gets pretty. She doesn't get proper banged up in the car crash, but it's enough, isn't it? And she has to go to the hospital. And a young nurse covertly gives her a flash drive advertising the substance, a black market drug that promises a younger, more beautiful, perfect version of oneself.
Oh, we did actually at the beginning, the very beginning, we see them eggs, don't we?
Oh, splitting.
Yeah.
That's what it does, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It splits the cells.
It
Yeah.
makes a duplicate,
Yes.
basically.
Makes a clone of yourself.
Think of Red Dwarf.
What's a bit freaky?
The replicator.
Yeah.
You get one
Yeah.
that's succulent and one
Yeah.
Full of maggots.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that passed it to her, he was clearly some dolly boy, kind of fully dolled up to the eyeballs, like perfect everything.
Mhm.
He was like, it looked like he'd been in makeup for 7 hours with the top makeup artist kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? He did, didn't he?
He looked like Botox boy, didn't he?
Yeah, but he looked young. He looked young at the same time. And he had this great big horrible birthmark on his wrist or something, wasn't it? As he passed it to her.
Yeah.
Because
I
that,
didn't notice that.
yeah, I did, and that's why later on,
Yeah.
you see the birthmark again.
I realised it was the same person.
Yeah,
I didn't
but that was
birthmark.
that was what was the
Interesting.
key thing on that.
Yeah.
That's why they made the point of him handing it to her like he did, and you saw that big nasty.
Oh, so
purpley-
she's going to meet both versions of him.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she meets him later.
Yes, right, of course.
Coffee shop. Yeah. Just clicked in your head. I just seen that your neurons firing.
Oh,
I could hear the wheel going with the rats.
it's squeaking. So Elizabeth, intrigued and desperate, orders the substance. She goes to like a weird all-white post office to get it in a back alley.
But
Yeah, I think
was
it's
gonna
more
say,
of a factory unit.
It's proper back.
Yeah.
Clinical as folk.
It is in the roughest ghetto back
Dodgy as fuck,
street.
innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, being a single woman,
Yeah.
would you have gone down there and
If I wanted it, yeah, but
yeah, you wouldn't have felt
She'd been walking down there swinging around nunchucks. It's like, yeah, come and get me, you bastards.
well, you'd
I would have
think,
been a bit uneasy.
you'd think she'd have got dropped off right outside, but outside the place, wouldn't you?
No, because it's all covert, innit? And she doesn't want to be seen, and she's obviously, you know what I mean. She's trying to be covert as much as she can as well, isn't she?
Mm.
Well,
And then when the door is a fucking metal shutter, and then he goes up halfway,
Yeah.
I'd
But,
be like, fuck this place.
I'd be well intrigued.
she doesn't do it at first, does she? It's not till she
Yeah.
has a bit of a looks at us. You know, she has a bit of a depression moment, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So she injects the single-use activator serum. She convulses as her body generates a younger woman emerging from a slit in her back.
Yeah,
Which
it
is
was
a bit-
gross, wasn't it?
Was a bit grim. Yeah. So this is the thing. So they're the same. She keeps getting that message on that you are the same.
Yeah.
Your genetic copy.
Yeah.
It's you when you're younger.
Yeah, the consciousness,
You split.
yeah. So you share your consciousness, I think.
Yeah, you're sharing the consciousness. You can remember what you did as the older version, and then you can remember what you did as the younger.
And to be fair, they're both. You know, they look great. I'll give them both. They both look great.
Fab.
Apart from the big slit in the back.
That
Yeah.
wasn't so good. The two bodies must switch consciousness,
Switch.
consciousness every 7 days, without exception, with the inactive body remaining unconscious and fed intravenously with a weekly food supply. Daily injections of stabilizer fluid extracted from the original body are required to prevent the new body from deteriorating.
Fucking grim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jabbing that needle in the back.
yeah, taking out spinal
Spinal
fluid.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The new body, naming herself Sue, becomes an overnight sensation after auditioning to be Elizabeth's replacement. Why did she go back to her old job?
You'd get out of there, wouldn't you?
like-
Knowing what a creep he was as
I'm
well.
assuming it's the biggest show on the network.
But she's young and hot and has all of her talent.
It was the biggest show in, I guess, in America. I'm imagining.
I know he's trying to get a movie role now.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Go back to the silver screen. You know,
As a
Maybe
nobody
she
though,
was doing it.
as
Oh,
a
maybe.
nobody, you got to start somewhere, haven't you?
or is it just
Yeah.
like
She's
a,
appeared
she's
out
a
of
nobody.
nobody. She
Since
appeared out of
she's
nowhere.
not-
Or
she's
is it
not
like-
known now, is she?
or is it as well like a little sort of
Work your way up,
a
haven't
bit
you?
of a fuck you to him?
Well, that's-
Or her. Or a fuck
Yeah.
you to her older self
They're
almost.
both, really.
I
yeah.
found it when every time, it was like a fuck you to the older self all the time, like
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
film.
Mm.
Well, she resented it, didn't she?
Yeah,
She resented being old and unattractive. She assumed. Like one guy wanted to get with her, didn't he? The old school friend.
Yeah, I mean, she had she was going to go on a date with him and then went a bit mad. I saw that bit.
The exhilarating part.
Near the end, so Sue, she's eventually offered the chance by Harvey to host the network's prestigious New Year's Eve show. While Sue lives a confident and hedonistic life, Elizabeth becomes a self-hating recluse. She literally just spends all week sat on her ass watching the shopping channel, isn't she?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're there on the end of your 7-day cycle and you're having a chill, you've done your hedonistic bit and you're scrolling your phone, I want to buy, I'm going to get that off Amazon. Oh, fuck, it's due to swap back tomorrow. I've got to leave them a note to say, by the way, I've got an Amazon parcel coming tomorrow.
No, because it's the same consciousness.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Thing is,
I think because sometimes she does seem a bit like, oh, look at the mess you've left, but then she's left it.
yeah, I don't think they do share the same consciousness.
It's a.
I think they have their
But
own
then-
consciousness,
But it's also. Sorry, Pete, go on. Sorry.
but I think they also share the same. I don't know. They must share the same consciousness in some way. Otherwise, she'd have woke up and been like, "What the fuck am I doing? Who am I? Where's this?" So there must be an element of
But
it
maybe the memories
are a bit
that
jaded.
Yeah.
But what forgot to mention on this is after like the second time of her body swapping,
Yeah.
she got laid, but it was time to swap bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
So she took a little bit extra
Yeah.
serum out of the back,
Mm-hmm.
and because she took more than was allowed,
Yeah.
it made her finger turn into like an old witch's crow finger.
Chrome, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Horrible, that, isn't it?
And that's why she became the recluse.
Yeah.
Because the next time, the girl,
bit
Sue,
more.
was like,
Yeah.
fuck it, fuck her, and took a bit more, and her fucking whole hand went shit,
But
didn't
then
it?
on the phone
Yeah.
call, he keeps saying, "You are one.
Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself. Respect the limit."
Well, that's why I found
she
it was
keeps
the
saying-
young one that
yeah.
was disrespecting the old
She
one.
keeps
That's
saying,
what it
"Oh,
felt
she's
like.
doing this, she's doing that," and he goes, "No, you're one person.
Yeah,
Can-
You doing it to yourself."
yeah.
He kept trying to get that through to her.
Can you argue that, and this is one of the reasons why my argument why I'm not liking this character is the younger one is just doing what the younger one is doing what the older one tried to do or wanted to do but couldn't do it. She knows how the system works now. She can use her body, her youth, her looks, and she can abuse
Well,
it. She turns and there's a bit
Probably
of
did
a
that when she
and
was
there's,
younger.
and there's a bit of a nature nurture thing going on as well. Because she's obviously old and fed up and depressed. And spends maybe she's fucking knackered after spending that consciousness of that week doing all the drugs
Maybe.
and having the
Maybe it's a
sex.
different body.
Well, she's emotionally
Feel-
knackered. She's coming.
Maybe.
Maybe she's coming down off all the drugs the younger ones took. 7-day come down for her.
Could be, couldn't it?
Could be, couldn't it?
Oh fuck.
I never thought about that. But she's fucking having the high and
Yeah.
she's got all the low. Maybe.
But in your head, you'd have to balance it up. Like either I can just be old all the time, or I can have a week of. You've got to see it as I still get a week of being young.
Yeah, but then you've got to go back to being old, and she doesn't want to, does she? She
But it
wants
does.
to stay young
It does.
and pretty and.
Does she
wanted.
stay at the same age? If they'd have played the
No, I
game,
imagine that she'll grow old eventually.
if they'd have played the game, would she age at a slower rate then? So I mean, like, she might end up being like 90 or 100.
I see what you mean, because he's only in. No, because the body would still deteriorate, wouldn't it?
But the way the serum works, of what I heard, is it kind of the reason you do it every 7 days is enough spinal fluid built up to last you another 7
So
days.
you're saying
The
that
serum replicates
They
in the
could-
body.
If they kept within the frame,
If they kept perfectly within the framework,
they could live forever.
the older body would age but a lot slower,
I don't know.
and the younger one would obviously. Then the younger one's going to age at some point. And then it's just that's how they get you to buy the fucking second batch. Because in 50 years' time, the younger one needs to take the serum. Is that right?
No,
No, they can't do it, can
No.
they? No.
as played.
Well, there's no market growth for this business wonder drug, admittedly.
No, definitely not.
There's no market growth because everyone's just going to die a lot slower.
Yeah, you get an extra. What is it? 50, 70
I
years
suppose
of being young.
You know, if she had the same consciousness,
Well,
you're just like
30 years of being.
if you put my consciousness in my like 18-year-old body, but I still like want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. It's not gonna be much fun, is it? My old brain, my old mind.
You were like that when you were 18.
Oh no, I wasn't. But when I get back to my consciousness, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck me, I'm knackered. No wonder she's sat there watching the fucking shopping channel.
Or maybe she should try and enjoy that time and just rest and recuperate.
Yeah, but then that's when the younger one starts to despise her. Like, oh, I'm having a great time. Now I'm giving you 7 days, and what you're doing with them, you're doing nothing. You're sat here on your ass. I'm having the fun. Why should I have the fun all the time? That's what happens, isn't it? Elizabeth resents Sue for a disregarding of the switching schedule, while Sue resents Elizabeth for her self-loathing and binge eating. Just basically, her personality splits in two. This is, isn't it? This is young, confident is Sue. Old and jaded, and the weight of the world has crushed her shoulders is Elizabeth.
They begin to view themselves as separate individuals, don't they, and grow to despise each other.
So 3 months later, on the day before the New Year's Eve telecast, Sue runs out of stabiliser fluid after stockpiling it by just like draining it all. Elizabeth, when they
So
switch,
for 3 months now, she's
Yeah.
been the young
Yeah.
version.
Which will have taken a massive toll
yeah,
on Elizabeth's body now.
yeah.
Well, she tries to get more, doesn't she?
She tries to get more, and he's like, "You've got to switch back. It's never gone that long. You've got to switch back." So she does, and finds herself transformed into an elderly hunchback with some disgusting saggy breasts, if you can call them that.
Yeah,
Kind of a
'cause
sight, isn't it?
I didn't need to see that. But to be fair, the makeup in this film, this part of the film, I think is great. I mean, I watched a couple of shows I watched. She spent ages
Okay.
in the because it wasn't CGI.
No.
Yeah.
It was all prosthetics.
Yeah.
She spent like 6 hours in the chair having all that done. So you have to hand it to the makeup people, don't you?
Yeah.
Because she's shagging that young bloke, isn't she, when she's
Yeah.
a young version of herself, and she tries to get more fluid out, it won't come, and just a switch. And then he's like calling for her, and like, she's in the bathroom, he's like, "How long are you going to be?" or whatever. "You were right."
She's making these
Oh,
weird
here's a
grunting
noise,
noises
yeah.
and like that. And it's
He's just about to open the door, and it slams, and she goes, "Go away." He's like, "Fuck this."
yeah, just like, I'm out of here. She's got bitch me crazy disease.
Haven't they all? Sorry, Claire.
he probably just assumed it was the time of the month and thought, well, I'm off. See you later.
Desperate to stop Sue from aging her further, Elizabeth orders a serum designed to terminate Sue. However, Elizabeth, still craving the admiration that Sue's celebrity status provides, stops before fully injecting the serum and resuscitates Sue, leaving both of them conscious. Realising Elizabeth's initial intent, Sue attacks and kills her before leaving to host the New Year's special.
Fight, though, is it, between them?
Oh, she gets thrown.
This is where the ridiculous comes in, though, now, because Sue all of a sudden has superhuman powers and kicks the older self, Elizabeth, about 20, 30 foot across the room.
Well, that's the
Again, it's over the
It's
top.
over the top.
The whole film is
yeah.
over the top, isn't it? But how did you like the next sort of?
It's a 5-minute scene, the actual Eliza Sue moment.
Yeah, it's quite a long.
What do you
fight
think
scene.
about the next scene then? Because
It was certainly grim.
the friend that I was watching it with, she said she loved it until that point, and it went too far for her.
But yeah.
It did
For
go a
me,
bit silly.
I loved it.
It went a bit silly for me. I was expecting the special effects to be a bit better for 2024.
Which
thought it
bit?
was
Which
alright.
bit are you on about now? Then?
Right, they've had the fight,
Yeah.
yeah, and without Elizabeth and the stabiliser fluid,
Oh,
the body begins to
Teeth,
deteriorate. doesn't
yeah,
it?
teeth and shit like that. Yeah.
So she injects herself using the leftover activator serum, despite the single-use warning. Which, that's not good.
Well, clearly not.
If someone's going to say, do not use more than once, and this has already created a fucking clone of yourself, is she trying at that point to create a new body for herself, though? Does she think that this is going to... Well, she must think this is going to solve all my problems. I'm this deteriorating, saggy sack of shit, but guess what? I'm going to birth a new one, new me, go and do the show. Job's a good one.
That's what she thinks. It doesn't quite work out that
Well,
way,
this
does
is
it?
Sue, yeah. No.
No. Oh, is it Sue? Yeah, it is Sue. Yeah, yeah.
It's Sue
Yeah.
that does this
It is, yeah.
because basically she's gone to do this New Year's Eve thing, and in the middle of it, just before it started, she went to the toilet
That's
and,
right.
and her teeth start falling
That's
out.
right, yeah.
And she runs off. And her ear falls off.
Yeah.
And she's literally falling apart.
Yeah.
Which is why, out of desperation, she then seeks this serum
Yeah.
And then she puts it in herself to duplicate a better version of herself that's not falling apart.
Well, Elizabeth and well, she kills it, doesn't she? That's why. Yeah, she's like, I can't get my shit now. I've got to inject it. Without Elizabeth and the stabiliser fluid, Sue's body begins to rapidly deteriorate. In a panic, she attempts to create a new version of herself using the leftover activator serum, despite the single-use warning. This results in the creation of a grotesque mutated body, Monstro Elisa Sue, with both Elizabeth and Sue's faces. Wearing a mask cut from a poster of Elizabeth, Monstro returns to the studio and attempts to host the show, but the audience erupts into chaos. This was a mental. I'm wearing a mask. No one will notice everything else.
What did you say about the breast?
Yeah, I don't know what orifice it comes through, but a tit falls out.
Literally onto the floor.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I hadn't long woke up, and I was like,
Oh, it's still in my dream.
I was like,
God, man, wouldn't want to be you if you're having them kind
It's
of
like she
dreams.
was shitting out a breast.
it was like I was looking at it. Is that a tit? So is that just going to stay there? Oh no, it's fallen out. Oh, that's something you don't see every day.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Reminded me of The Fly.
Actually, The Fly turned me off this kind of shit.
Oh, I love The Fly films. Brilliant.
Yeah, but The Fly was really good film.
You didn't think this was a good film? It's not as good as The Fly, I'll give you that.
No.
I thought it was a decent film.
And I didn't think The Fly was that grotesque.
But The Fly just turned me off. So I think it's body
The
horror.
Fly
Isn't it?
was that
I don't think I've
grotesque.
watched it.
Not as this. Not as grotesque as this.
He turned into a fly.
Yeah, bits are falling off him. Teeth are
Yeah.
falling out and that, and
Yeah.
I think you must be misremembering it.
Yes, am I?
I haven't seen it for a long
Yeah.
time.
And The
but
Fly 2 is even more disgusting.
might have to revisit those films.
Well,
Heartbreaking.
Monstro returns to the studio and attempts to host the show, but the audience erupts into chaos. And it's everyone's just like, freak! Freak! Good old-fashioned freak shout out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, trying to shame her out of town.
They
Well,
just stop there, do they? They attack her.
I'm not surprised, Mike.
What do you mean you're surprised?
She's
Kill the monster!
She's a glob of mutating flesh. She's going to end up looking like Camille at some point. From Red Dwarf.
Just doesn't deserve to get beaten to death.
Well, fuck me, Mike. You don't know what it is. You don't know it's Elizabeth and Sue combined into one. You're just like, what the fuck's that? It's the children, this audience. It's going to go for them.
My first instinct is to run.
Is he gonna go for him?
I'll get out of
I'm
there.
grabbing a shovel and I'm stoving its fucking faces in.
My first instinct is to pick up that tit it dropped. Hey!
But she's screaming, it's me. But it's like, it clearly isn't. I don't know who you're supposed to be. A tit just fell out of a hole.
And there's some crazy dude running over and grabbing it, putting it in a pickle jar. What the fuck's going on there?
Oh, that's going to be a fleshlight later on.
I was going to say, who needs the wank bank?
Just the craziness of it was just like, whoa.
That would, do you know what? That scene that I just added to it wouldn't have made the film any crazier.
Exactly.
If anything, it might have normalised it slightly more.
Someone eventually decapitates her though. That's the and is he doing? He's just punch her really hard.
No.
She's just literally. Do you remember X-Men, the original X-Men, right?
Yeah.
Right. 1997, when the politician gets zapped with the mutant ray, and he walks at the sea and just dissolves into a
Yeah,
blob.
yeah.
That's what's going to happen to her at some point. You haven't got to decapitate her, but the blood spray. Wow. Well,
It was just redonkulous, wasn't
there's
it?
more than 16 pints going out of that.
Oh,
That
there's about
reminded me.
6,000 pints. come
Reminded
out
me,
of that.
I know what
Brain
you're going to
dead.
say, brain dead. It
Yeah,
reminded
but
me of brain dead.
Brain Dead was funny. This wasn't funny up until that point. Up until the last 10 minutes, it was a very crazy, nasty horror, like, not even a horror film, just like a nasty, mind-bending, not very nice film whatsoever.
It's not a pleasant watch.
No, but then it just turned into Red Dwarf on acid.
Yeah.
Like, without the
Oh,
humour.
it's the fucking Vindaloo monster.
I'm trying to. It reminded me of something like fucking Monty Python would have created. It really was.
It was a little comical at the end, really. I agree with you. It was almost like comedy horror at the end.
Yeah, it was just like, what the
It's
fuck
over
are
the
you
top
doing?
again, isn't it?
It's over the top.
But
But it didn't fit the rest of the film, which was
yeah,
quite...
the way they went with it, it just went. To me,
Well,
it
see,
went.
my
Well,
friend said that, but I liked it.
No, I agree. I was a bit... As I woke up at this point, I was a bit under-impressed.
they could have done.
I think it could have been... I thought, it's 2024, surely you got a bit more money than this.
Well, yeah, but also if they'd have just Sue would have given birth to a mutant, but not a mutant like that, like just some really deformed person that was just like, ah, my name's Sue.
Oh, I could have gone for that.
No, or it doesn't quite detach from Sue, so she's got like now a bit of a Siamese.
Oh,
twin.
yeah,
Coming out of
okay.
her back.
I could have gone for that too.
Yeah.
Oh, they are
That-
attached, aren't they?
They're one
No,
big blob.
but like when they try and like
No, because Sue dies essentially, doesn't she?
Well,
And
yeah,
then-
but
then
there's
that's-
2 heads on this thing, isn't there? There's Elizabeth and Sue's
Yeah,
face.
one's on the back, one's on the
Yeah.
front. And obviously after being decapitated, the
No.
an even more mutated head starts to grow back.
no, what I'm saying is they didn't have to take it that far.
Right.
It could have just been like
Siamese
yeah, a
twins.
little like but with a big person's head, and she's like carrying along a
Oh,
baby
for
body
me,
or
for
something.
me, it was perfect.
It could have been a little bit less crazy and a bit more believable.
I like where it went.
I do
I'm
like
just
where it
weird,
went.
so.
I do like where it went, but
Well, Monstro flees a studio but collapses after one of her legs gets kind of snapped or shot. Is it shot?
Can't remember.
And it breaks. It just breaks, doesn't it? Because she's deteriorating. Your leg just breaks. Elizabeth's original face detaches from the gore, crawling onto a neglected star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She smiles as she hallucinates being admired before melting into a puddle of blood, which is cleaned up by a floor scrubber the next day.
And that was the film, ladies and gentlemen. In a
What's a
nutshell.
film?
Well,
you left like just any sort of film that leaves you like, what the fuck? You
Is
know?
that the writer up there? Is she like the woman who made it
Yeah.
or something?
yeah, she's the writer and director.
She's very pretty.
So obviously there's a very strong stance against the patriarchy of Hollywood in this movie.
Mhm.
It's not just that, is it? Either
It's
it's
our whole society.
it's emphasising the fact that the way society's becoming, women aren't happy with the way they look,
Yeah.
Well,
Instagram.
yes, I thought, yeah, God, yeah.
and that
Yeah,
is like
totally.
the
Yeah.
that is like obviously the most.
She's not unattractive though, is she?
No, but she thinks she is. Mate, I'm telling you now, right? There's half a dozen women at work that are very, very pretty women, except they've all had their lips done, and it's like they all look ridiculous with the lips. Like I've got friends on Facebook of mine, and you go back like 2 or 3 years before they've had their lips done, and it's like, oh wow. Wow,
Yeah.
what a beautiful girl. Like, don't get me wrong, they're still really nice looking now, but they've got this big duck pout, and it just looks ridiculous.
I get where you're coming from.
And it's all of that kind of thing. It's like women look at themselves and go,
Well, there's
"Oh, I could change this
there's
about
a- there's
myself."
but look
it's
at
an
the
impossible
people-
beauty standard,
Yeah.
isn't it?
And
That's
that's
it.
the thing.
Claire, come on.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Everyone's
Like
just
size
like,
0 models.
and people are into body modifications
Yeah.
and this exaggerated cartoony look, aren't they?
It is.
Yeah.
It
Creeping to men as well.
Oh,
It
the men.
really is.
Oh, they look like Ken dolls.
it
Yeah.
looks ridiculous. When men get their lips done, it looks fucking ridiculous.
Well, it's the cheekbone sculpting
Yeah.
and all sorts, and you think, oh, fucking hell, you are who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I did the this film. I'm quite at ease with everything about myself. I'm wonderful. I do as I wilt. Yeah, but so,
That's
but
how
at
you
the same
should
time,
be.
I also think that I didn't really take to the character because if you think about the younger herself being just her but younger but knowing what she knows now, then she's not living. That's the kind of life she wants to lead.
What colour was her hair again?
You've got to think that the young Sue is a little bit out of control as well. She's sort of like, you know.
She is, yeah.
Well, is that a nature-nurture thing? The older ones had the experience, and it's like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. But the young ones learning, oh, she's sucked into the hedonism of Hollywood.
Yeah, just getting sucked into the lifestyle as well. She's got
It's
really,
addictive, isn't it?
really famous,
Of course it
really
is.
fast,
That's what she wants.
going
She
to
wants go
parties,
back to
being,
how it used
you
to be.
know,
But
centre of
Living their best
attention.
life again.
Yeah.
Of course, it's addictive. Or would you want to go back to the old
Well, you've
person?
just-
It aches and pains and
you just got to have that fucking deal with the young one, haven't you?
So I don't know whether anybody else has seen any threads or anything involved that to do with this particular film, but there are talk of people saying that this is just another form of soft disclosure.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they reckon there could be truth to this kind of thing. Not that exact, but similar things.
So would that be like the adrenochrome, spinal fluid, you know, injecting it into themselves? That's why like Hillary Clinton's is like what 80 nearly, and doesn't look 80.
She doesn't look any older than she did 20 years ago, yeah. Not so much down that route, it was more the clones.
Oh, so are
The
we into?
potential clones of people.
Well, if you have the chance, Pete, we did an episode a long time ago. I think it's episode 163, if my memory serves you correctly. Donald Marshall and the celebrity cloning scandal. I would advise you to look into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's people saying that it's just a bit of they're just kind of telling the truth in a roundabout way, like they seem to do about things. They kind of tell you the truth, or potentially. This is the different theories,
Who knows?
isn't it? Whether there's truth to them or not, whether it's
Mm.
pure conspiracy, who knows? But yeah, there's a lot of
Maybe.
like it's like there's a lot of certain films that have been coming out, like Alien films and things like that. It's like, are they just trying to prepare us? Like, just not prepare us.
Okay.
If you see something
Yeah, I know
all
what you're
the
saying.
time,
If you see it, the image of the grey alien is what you're trying to say. We see that all the time, don't we? So if we see a grey alien,
you're
we're
not going to be
freak
that
out.
fussed. You're not going to be that fussed, are you? Because we're familiar with them.
This is in Paul, doesn't it?
Yeah, well familiar with him.
No,
Claire, have you got something to tell us?
no, but you'd be more familiar with something like that turning up, and you thinking, "Fuck me, this is what we've seen in the movies for the past 80 years or whatever," or a big blob monster that's going to eat you because it's got big teeth. Or do you know what I mean?
You're right. You've lost me
I
now.
think it's just wishful thinking that they're not going to start another.
It was this disclosure.
No, it's
That's
not.
the
No,
original
no,
point.
it's not soft disclosure. It's
So is he saying this
I
shit
can't
could be
think of the
real?
Fucking word.
Big, there's shit like this is a big pharma conspiracy. There's a cure for cancer. There's anti-aging drugs, that kind of shit.
You say the rich are doing this.
There could be.
Well, does this explain why people like Brad Pitt don't age?
There's all sorts
Tom
of different
Cruise.
people they reckon that have been cloned.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Was
Miley Cyrus,
Chappelle?
Chappelle,
No, not Chappelle.
not Dave Chappelle. Fucking hell.
There's a black comedian that was around. It wasn't not Chappelle. There's another one. I can't think what his fucking name is. And they reckon he's been cloned. I can't think what his name is. Katy Perry, Beyonce. There was a few of them.
Oh yeah, I
that
saw
they reckon
Katy Perry glitch out the other day on a video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
she sort of
that's
goes a
one of
bit-
her party tricks. Apparently, she it's the doll look or something like that. It's where her eye goes funny, and it's like the mannequin. There's a name
Right,
for it,
okay.
but it's like a party trick that she
But
do.
anyway, back to the film.
But I think it's all that kind of. Maybe it
Right.
could be that kind of thing. It could be connected.
Maybe.
Bit of soft disclosure.
Claire, go on and give me your final thoughts on this.
It was just a bit crazy and made me go, "What the fuck?" And then,
Oh.
you know,
Make us all watch it.
disagree.
it actually kept me awake because I was just like, "What? This is crazy as fuck."
It's a long film. It's 2 hours 20 minutes where there's not a lot of stuff. In my defence, There's no car chases, there's no gunfire, there's no explosions.
Okay.
It was a long film, wasn't it?
2 hours, 20 minutes. I knew I was going to struggle with that. It's a long ass film. I think it could have been an hour and 90.
I struggled to keep my dick
sorry,
out
I think
for
it
that
could
long
have
as
been 9 minutes, this film. I think it could have been a nice hour and a half, and it would have been alright.
well. Yeah, I struggled to keep my dick up for that long as well. to be fair.
I was performing tantric masturbation.
So it's a no from you?
It's a no. I give it a. I think it's a bit feminist, but I think it's all right. I mean, I give it a 6 because I like the concept of it. It just didn't grip me. If it had just been a nice, straightforward, simple, weird body horror, I probably still wouldn't have watched it because I don't like those kind of films. But
So you like them films or not? I
Yeah.
like horror films.
not a fan of
When
horror.
they're done well.
But I like the sci-fi. There's a sci-fi aspect to this film.
The one thing I liked about this film, Demi Moore.
I'm not going to knock the nudity.
I thought the acting was
No,
great.
I'm on about.
Yeah,
I'm
the
about
acting was good
nudity.
too.
No,
Demi Moore was
I
really
thought
good in this
she-
movie.
I thought the look of it looked really stylistic.
She was very good in it.
You know, it's a very sort of over the top portrayal of our world.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If it had been anybody else playing Elizabeth, I don't think it'd have done half as well. I really don't. I think it's
Yeah.
because it's
Didn't
Demi Moore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she pulled it off fucking brilliantly. I
Yeah.
don't think there's many other actors out there that would have pulled that off
Oh,
like
she's-
she did.
She's a great actor. She's a great actor. She's great in this.
I think,
Yeah.
I think it had good themes, relevant themes to today. I love the body horror, reminded me of The Fly. I really liked it.
I
What's your
liked
mark out of 10 for it? What would you give it?
Definitely at least a 7.
I'm just going snooze factor, kept me awake, happy days. Kept me going, what the
I
actual
might even
fuck?
go 7.5.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it a solid 6.2. 6.2 I think is fair because I did fall asleep. I had to watch it in 2 stints. And it was just a bit, what the fuck?
It is that's
That's
the
what I
thing.
loved about it.
Yeah, what the
I
fuck?
just didn't expect it. I knew nothing about the film when I went into it.
It would have been a 7 for me if it hadn't been for that weird blob monster at the end.
Well,
if
I
they'd have
heard-
done that a little
Blob
bit
squatch.
different. If they'd have done that a bit
Obviously,
different.
for me, that just...
It wasn't
They're
so much
pretending.
that, it was the 6 million pints of blood that came out of it. It's like,
But yeah, but it's like brain dead, isn't it?
I know, but you don't...
Yeah, but there was like
There wasn't that much blood in brain.
there was a lot of bodies.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, lawnmower.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. If you're chopping zombies up with a
I see
lawnmower,
what you
there's a
mean. It
lot of
was
bodies.
unrealistic.
And there was
amount of
probably
blood.
more blood in that
Yeah.
than there was in Brain
Yeah,
Dead.
probably.
Oh, no.
Then again, it's over the top, and it was.
It was
The
over
film
the top.
was over the
It
top.
reminded me of Brain Dead, I must admit. That end scene reminded me. It's
It
like,
wasn't
this
subtle,
is.
it was just smacking you over the head.
But then
Well-
that's a bit of a jump in genres, isn't it? Straight, like how can a film jump so violently from one genre to another? Literally the flick of a fucking finger.
It's just over the top completely, isn't it?
Went from like a serious fucking mental, crazy, nasty film with lots of
To-
boobs
What the fuck?
to fucking Brain Dead meet Monty Python.
Well, kind of almost like Dust Till Dawn really in that respect, isn't it?
So what's it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
89%.
Tomatoes? I don't know.
Fucking
Average
tomato.
rating of 8 on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, I'm not saying it's not for me. That's what it is. I'm not saying it's a bad film.
IMDb.
It's just not for me.
What was it on IMDb?
We got it on there.
That's always quite. I think I always find IMDb quite a good
Yeah.
rating. I tend to follow it kind of thing. If it says that film's good, I've normally liked it, or if it says it's shit, I've normally agreed.
7.3.
Liked it more than I did.
7.3, that's pretty much smack bang in the middle of what I said. I'll go with that.
Oh, fantastic. Right, are we all good? Everyone,
Yeah.
anything else to say? Everyone happy?
I think it needed more boobs.
Falling out onto the floor.
And on that note, I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Do as thou wilt, and love is the law, and that every man or woman is a star, regardless of whether or not you are a massive blob monster.
Mike, thanks for listening. Being sad, I look forward to be with you.
I've been Clair, keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. just remember, we're all beautiful as we are.
That's it.